Hey guys, Eli here, and it's the last week of the month, so hopefully you guys had an amazing month. I know I did. So since it is the last week of the month, I'm gonna actually take a break and I'm gonna get some stuff done and get some stuff ready for the next month. And I have a whole list of videos that was recorded this month, and I'm gonna get to you guys here. So hopefully you guys enjoy this content. It's all about silver today, all about gold today. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps out the algorithm. And make sure you guys comment down below. Let me know some of your thoughts and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if you guys want to be a part of the wealth creation Discord where you can talk to like-minded people around the entire world, make sure you guys join. The link is down in the description below. And for the very low percentage of you guys is going to watch this entire video to the end, I do want to say thank you so much. But I also want to say thank you to the people who's just going to watch 5 minutes of the video, 3 minutes of the video. It does help out the watch time. Thank you so much. And let's get started. So if this is your first time on this channel, you like to talk about finances and mindset, make sure you start now by hitting the thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, hitting that notification icon so you guys get future notifications of my future video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, and also check down the description below for some awesome free resources. And if you guys want to chat with me on the Wealth Creation Discord, the links are all down in the description below. And if you guys want to get access to my video courses, make sure you guys become a member of this channel so you can get access to thousands of dollars worth of information. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about Kevin OLeary's gold investment strategy and why I believe it's one of the best strategies when buying gold and silver today. Hey, I'm Kevin OLeary with dreads. Kevin OLeary is known for his role on Shark Tank and his investment. Oh yeah, in that video that Graham released a couple of weeks ago. Which reminds me, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps out the channel. Now, one of the things I didn't know about Kevin OLeary was the fact that he had a stance in gold. I saw his interview when he was talking about gold, and here are some of the key points from the interview.
Product, and then I, supposedly own the physical gold that way. But what I like about the GLD is I can trim my weighting every month. So when it gets over 5% weighted, I ping off a few GLDs or I buy in the GLDs. Right. Physical gold, I go hug at night. Right. I like gold because in a way it's a stabilizer, it's an insurance policy. I listen to all the gold pundits and they're always wrong as far as I'm concerned. It's possible to time the moves. I've owned gold for decades and I simply have a 5% weighting. I look at it quarterly. When it becomes more than 5%, I sell into the strength. And when it weakens, I buy into the weakness. It's just a stabilizer. I'm not one of those guys that's going to go to 40% weighting in gold. Okay. I don't believe the hyperinflation story. It hasn't happened. Gold is popular for a whole host of reasons. Yes. And 5% seems to be enough. It's worked for me in portfolio management. It's the only security I own that doesn't pay a dividend.
So it goes to $2,000 or $5,000 an ounce, you're still going to buy gold?
Yeah, I don't care. Let it run. I'll be selling into that strength, keeping it at 5% weighting. What I've learned, I'm an old crusty investor. When everybody's saying you got to own it, you should be selling it, because when it corrects, it doesn't touch the sides on the way down. So I simply say 5% is good for me. Some people like a 10, 15% weighting. I'm a 5% guy, and I'm disciplined about it. I hope it runs to 5,000. I don't care. I'll be selling all the way up, keeping it at 5%. And when it corrects back down to 2,000, I'll be buying it in. It's fun. That's the way you should work with gold. Never get so caught up that you take all your dividend-yielding securities that are also a hedge against inflation and put it into a commodity like gold.
So looking at that, I want to go over his gold buying strategy. He has 5% of his portfolio in gold. And when the prices goes up, he sells the strengths. But when the prices are down, he buys the weakness. So an example of his investment strategy is he has 5% of his portfolio. If gold prices rises up and he sells to keep it at 5%, and if it falls below 5%, he buys to keep it at 5%. So at all time, he should technically have always 5%, which in my opinion is an amazing strategy. And I'll go on record and say, this is one of the most amazing strategies I've ever heard. You can say if you have a specific amount like 20,000 in gold and silver, if the prices of gold and silver goes up, which cause your value of that 20,000 to go up, and then you sell to keep it just at 20,000. But if the prices of gold and silver goes down and devalues the amount of money that you have in gold and silver, you can buy to keep it at 20,000. Now, before you go and change your investment strategy, I do want to say I'm not a financial advisor and you should never just listen to some random stranger on YouTube. So be sure to do your own research and make your own decisions. Now, although I say this is one of the best strategies I've heard, I'm not just running out to change my strategy. Kevin stated that he doesn't believe hyperinflation is going to happen. But I myself, I believe, hey, if hyperinflation happens somewhere, it can happen wherever I am. If the chances of hyperinflation are low, I have to acknowledge the fact that there is a chance. Do you know the chances of a bacteria mutating and traveling across the world getting tons and tons of people sick? The chances on that is very extremely low. But something like that will never happen. Now, although I say this is one of the best strategies I've ever seen or heard, I don't believe that this strategy accounts for inflation or the devaluation of the dollar. So let's say 5% of your portfolio is in precious metals. That comes about, let's say it's just $20,000, right? But let's say over the next coming years, inflation goes up to 50%. That means that 5% of precious metals that you hold is still 20K. If your net worth didn't go up, it's still 20K, but it's valued at $10,000. Which means that the net worth of your portfolio needs to go up 50% just to keep up with inflation. For this strategy to work, your net worth must surpass inflation continuously for you guys to benefit from this. Now, this may be easy to do if you're a millionaire.
Hola, I am how you say a millionaire.
But if you're just a regular Joe, it's not as easy. But that's my thoughts on Kevin O'Leary's strategy when it comes to buying gold. I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below. Do you guys believe that's a good strategy? Have you guys found any flaws in this strategy? Let's have this conversation. Eli here. And today I want to talk about Dave Ramsey and the fact that Dave Ramsey just doesn't like to buy gold or silver for that matter. So we all know Dave Ramsey is a financial guru. I mean, there's a lot of advice that I took from him at one point in time. And I do believe some stuff that he says does make sense, until he starts talking about gold and silver. Now, last year, or probably a couple of years back, I did a video about him actually giving some people advice. And he was like, hey, you know what? You shouldn't buy gold and silver. Matter of fact, let's watch a little bit of that clip right now.
A few years back in 2010, and we bought some gold and silver.
And you're going to lose money because you bought it at the freaking top of the market.
Yeah.
That's a message right there. The fact that she bought, most likely, you probably heard a lot of people talk about gold and silver, and gold is shooting up to the moon, and gold is going to skyrocket. Gold is at its all-time high. She bought around 2010, so she had some sort of reason to actually buy gold. But she bought at the top. When I started buying gold, nobody was trying to buy gold. Nobody was talking about gold. So I actually bought my gold at the bottom, in my perspective, of course. You could have bought gold around 2000 and bought it for like $300, and right now it would have been a great investment.
Yes, we did both. It was horrible.
Yeah, so you're losing 50% of your money.
Yes, we are. The gist of it,
Isn't gold a wonderful investment?
Yes, based on my experience, it is.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
Okay,
and
listen, here's the thing. Regardless of what you're going to do with the money,
okay.
Regardless, you never look at an investment and make a decision based on the past.
Okay.
You always make your decisions on the investment based on what you perceive the future to be.
Okay.
Okay. And so what you paid for it, in other words, doesn't matter. It's what it's going to do in the future that matters.
Yeah.
So
how do I know?
What do we think gold is going to do in the future? Well, we don't know. What do we think house prices are going to do in the future? Well, we don't know. What do we think mutual funds are going to do in the future? Well, we don't know. The only reasonable way to forecast investment returns is to say what they have done in the past over a long period of time is likely to be what they will do in the future over a long period of time, plus or minus wonderful and tragic events. Okay, which we can't predict.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to give Dave Ramsey the benefit of the doubt. He goes on and say, hey, you know what? You should sell all that, even though that was just 1 year ago. That was last year. Gold was around, I'll give it around 1,100 to 1,300 around the time that this video came out. But at the same time, had that lady just waited 1 year later, 1 year later, she would have made all her money back and a little bit of profit at the same time. Had she just waited, I don't know if she sold or not, but if she just waited 1 year later, just 1 year. I mean, she held on for like almost 10 years. If she just held on for 11 years, she would have made her money back. But okay, I know what you guys are saying. Eli, yes, it makes sense, but you know, Dave Ramsey couldn't foresee what's going on right now. I guarantee if it was a recession, he'll probably say, hey, hold on to your silver and gold. And you may be right, but me doing a little bit more research on this, I found this video. Now, to give you a little bit of context on this video, this was around the March timeframe. This happened during the pandemic, and we knew the government was printing so much money, and we also know that due to the fact the amount of money being printed, the more and more inflation is going to come on, and we all know that we are in a recession at this time. So let's see what advice that he has to give now with somebody trying to sell about $12,000 of silver. Should she hold or should she buy? Let's see what the great Dave Ramsey has to say about that.
So my question for you is, we made what we know now to be a bad investment about 10 years ago on silver coins. We thought it was a good idea at the time, but the investment we made in those is worth about half of the money that we put into it at this time. But we're not sure it's going to go back up. So my question is, should we go ahead and sell it now and use that to pay towards paying our debt, or wait and see if the value might go back up? I know sometimes historically when the economy is down, usually the
precious metals go up. Yeah. You're right. The silver and gold goes up when people are afraid. Silver and gold goes up generally. That's true. Now, what's this investment worth today?
Between $12,000 and $14,000.
Okay. All right. If you had $14,000 in cash sitting in the middle of your kitchen table, would you buy silver coins with it today?
No.
Then you wouldn't
Definitely.
keep it in silver coins for the exact same reason.
So, let's say this was like about 3 months ago. Silver didn't go up to $20 yet. Should you sell your silver? And he says, sell it. And to be honest with you, the whole, if I had $12,000 right now, I would not buy silver with it. Majority, maybe like a good $1,000 will possibly go into silver. But right now, I wouldn't buy silver in it. So does that mean I should just go ahead and sell all my silver? In my perspective, I just feel like that's a bad analogy. If you're living in your own house right now that's currently worth, let's just say $100,000, and then you have $100,000 right there, would you buy a house with it? If the answer is no, should you sell your current house right now? Now, this video is not made to bash on Dave Ramsey. Great guy, and some of his advice are great, are wonderful even. But when it comes to gold and silver, that's just the person I tend not to listen to. Because had I listened, let's just say I bought a whole bunch of gold and silver 2 years ago, and then had I listened to Dave Ramsey when I saw the video, and I was like, you know what? Gold and silver sucks. You know what? Dave Ramsey is right. Let me just go sell all of my gold and silver. How would I feel right now? I'd be like, man, why did I listen to that guy for? I mean, come on. But of course, hindsight is 20/20. He stated on the video, don't go based off the past, just based off what you think what it's gonna do. Well, we all know silver's history in the past is when everything goes down. When everything goes down, when the economy's falling apart. And I don't know what kind of world we're in right now, but I mean, do you guys feel like the economy's falling apart based off what's going out there, or is it all fine and jiffy? Let me know in the comments below. But based on the past of gold and silver, we know when everything is going down, gold and silver tends to go up. Now, some people may be like, oh no, the stock market is rising and everything in the economy. Well, look, the unemployment numbers, we're in a recession. I don't care what nobody say. We are in a recession in 2020 right now. There's about 45 million people, if not more or less, that's out of a job right now. Unemployments are record high. The government are printing money at a record level. They're trying to keep this economy up to float. So am I surprised that gold and silver within the past 3 months just skyrocket? No, it's supposed to happen based on the past. So if somebody were to ask me, hey, listen, I got, let's say 3 months ago, hey, listen, I got this much money in gold and silver. Should I sell it or should I do this? I'll talk to them. I'll be like, hey, ultimately, the decision is yours, but let's look at the past. We'll look at the situation we are in now. Why did you buy gold and silver? Do you feel like it satisfied your needs? And I do believe that, hey, the fact that the economy is going where it's going right now, I do believe that the gold and silver will go up. So I say just hold on a little bit longer. All right. It's not going to be, oh man, if you had $5,000, would you go buy more gold and silver with it? Just that's a whole bunch of fluid. Yeah, like that right there. That's the only thing I honestly didn't agree with right there. Okay. Now, the point of this video is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? My mentor always told me, your life within the next 5 years is going to be a collection of how much books you've read, or what kind of books you read, and who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Honestly, think about it. How many books you've read, or what kind of books you've read, and who do you listen to? We all listen to somebody. We all listen to somebody. So whatever you're doing in life, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it be gold and silver, whether it be investment, who do you listen to? All right. And I'm not saying Dave Ramsey is like a bad guy, a wonderful guy. Like I said, I even take some of his advice as well. But when it comes down to certain aspects, I do all my research. If I'm thinking about buying gold and silver, I need to listen to somebody who has gold and silver. And why do they see a benefit in owning gold and silver? That's who I listen to, and it has to be backed by facts. And I don't just listen to that one person. I go over here and I listen to this guy talk about it. I'll listen to this guy talk about it. Listen, I've listened to Warren Buffett talk about gold and silver, Robert Kiyosaki talk about gold and silver, Dave Ramsey talk about gold and silver, Mike Maloney talk about gold and silver, a whole bunch of people in the community I've listened to, and I just came up with my own, back with my own research, of course. And I made my decisions on buying gold and silver around that point in time. All right. So it's who do you listen to? If you're looking to be in the stock market, if you want to invest in the stocks, who do you listen to? That you have to find somebody with some fruit on the tree. Don't just listen to one person. All right, hey, he had a bad experience in gold and silver, so I'm just going to listen to this guy. When I first started buying gold and silver, matter of fact, when I talked about gold and silver, there's so many comments. I mean, I didn't get them as much, but there was multiple people in the comments like, oh, silver sucks. You'll never make money off silver. Silver's this, silver's that, silver's this. Stick to gold. And the same thing could be, hey, gold sucks. Gold is this, gold is that. Gold, you'll never make money off gold. Stick to silver. Oh man, forget precious metals. Invest into stocks. Know this, man. Stocks is gonna rise. Oh man, stocks beat gold and silver. Bitcoin is the next gold and silver. I've heard all of that. But let's see, with the people I've listened to, all those people I mentioned prior, all the people I've listened to, I just stayed steady and followed my plan. Follow my plan, because at the end of the day, those people who wrote down the comments, Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, Mike Maloney, they're not responsible for my financial future. At the end of the day, I am the one that's ultimately responsible for my own financial future. So there's nobody to blame. If I make a mistake, I can't blame nobody. Not even you down in the comments, not even you. I can't blame no one for my mistakes. So I have to make sure I do my own research and I do everything correct. Well, not correct, everything to my best ability to make sure I make the right decisions. Now, let's go back to all those comments that I got. Silver sucks, gold sucks, stock sucks, and all that. Let's look at everything. I stayed steady in gold and silver. Or let's say I just stayed steady in buying my silver. I made a profit off that currently. All right. I stayed steady in buying the gold. I made a profit on that currently. My gold and silver combined, I profit about $20,000 in just 3 years. All right. In just 3 years, I took some profit off already, and I'm holding on some I may never sell. Now let's go into the stock market. Oh, stock is going to crash. Oh man, this and that, this and that, this and that. Oh man, listen, there's going to be a double dip. I stayed steady. I did my research. I made some profit off that. Right now, I'm about $10,000 profit on my stocks. Let's talk about whatever, Bitcoin. Well, I just haven't done the research enough yet for Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure if I really did the research on Bitcoin and I listened to reliable people, that's the message here. This whole video is I listened to reliable people. I'm pretty sure I would have been like, hey, you know what? Cool. I'm pretty sure I would have made some profit off Bitcoin too had I did the research on Bitcoin. All right. So key point in this message is, who do you listen to? Hey guys, Eli here, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about why I believe silver is going to be worth a whole lot more in the future and how you guys can take advantage of that now. Alright, so one of the first reasons I believe silver is going to be worth a whole lot more in the future is the most obvious one, is because the dollar is going to be worth less in the future. Well, hold on there, did you just say worthless? I don't see the difference. Yes, over the past couple of years, the dollar has been losing so much of its value, and I don't believe that's going to stop anytime soon. With the fact being that the Feds is printing so much more money, all that money being put into circulation makes the obvious inevitable. Inflation is going to happen. So if the money that we use today in the future is going to be worth way less, that just means it's going to take a lot more money to buy the precious metals in the first place. In the early 1900s, silver was only 50 cents. After 1950, silver was about $4. And in the early 2000s, silver was around $5 to $8. And now we're seeing silver above $20. And in the early to mid 1900s, you could have bought a house for around $30,000. Right now, it's $300,000. So the money that we use is always devaluing and the silver is always rising up in price. Now, the second reason I believe silver will be worth more in the future is because of this. Electric vehicles and solar panels is going to dominate the market in the future. So with everybody looking for a more eco-friendly way to live, companies like Tesla is taking advantage of it. But I do believe in the future, Tesla is not going to be the only one trying to make electric vehicles. I believe in the future that the gas engine will slowly fade away and more people is going to rely on electric vehicles. What that got to do with silver? Well, whether you know it or not, silver is being used a whole lot more in electric vehicles. So the more market share that electric vehicles gather up, the more silver is going to be used. But it's not just electric vehicles, solar panels as well. A lot more people are getting attached to the idea of connecting solar panels to the roof. Even going as far as turning the roof shingles that you put on top of the roof into semi-solar panels. Now what does that mean as far as silver? You guessed it. Solar panels use silver in them as well. And I do believe in the future, a lot more solar panels are going to be consumed. Now, that's really just two industries, while silver is being used in multiple technologies such as phones, computers, medical equipment, and so much more. Now, with all that silver being consumed added on top of that, people stacking it, it brings me to my last reason I believe silver is going to be worth a lot more in the future. We will consume a whole lot more silver in the future. Now, I know it may seem that the technology that silver is being used in looks unlimited, but the silver that we currently have on Earth is not. So I believe the demand for silver is going to skyrocket while the supply is just going to slowly diminish. And that is my reasons I believe that silver is going to be worth a whole lot more in the future. I want to know your opinion. Comment down below. Let me Eli here. And I've been wondering, what would happen if we were on the golden standard today in 2020? I mean, you gotta wonder, how would it be, especially during this pandemic year? Would we have been able to print as much money as we did? And would we be in the beginning of another Great Depression? Now let's look into the definition of the golden standard, the system by which the value of currency was defined by the terms of gold for which the currency could be exchanged. The gold standard was generally abandoned in the Depression of the 1930s. Now, although a lot of people like to say that gold caused the Great Depression, if we look at some of the stats and statistics around the Great Depression and we look at them through today's eyes and we realize that in March, our numbers were 10 times what that was. Well, possibly not 10 times, but our numbers were way worse in April and March than the numbers in the Great Depression. So why does our economy does not feel like we're in a Great Depression right now? Some people may say it's due to gold. Now, the reason that somebody would say gold caused the Great Depression back in 1930, if you look at what happened in 2020 with the pandemic happening, what did the government do? They printed out so much money to bail out all these companies and to pass out stimulus checks. Now, imagine if we were backed by the gold standard. We wouldn't have enough gold to print out that much money to say, hey, it's still backed by the gold. See, now we can print as much money as we want, but the fact still remains the same. If we're on the gold standard, we cannot print out gold. So back in 1930, when the stock market was in free fall, we didn't have enough money to bail out the stock market, to bail out the people, to bail out the companies. So pretty much what happened, we had to let them go under. And that was one of the reasons that caused the Great Depression. The government just stood by and let it all happen. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you have this dollar right here, and you say this dollar is backed by this 1 ounce of gold. Now let's say I add an additional dollar to the mix. Now is that same $2 valued at the same price of that 1 ounce of gold? Now either I would have to get another ounce of gold to back that second dollar, or both of those dollars will have to devalue itself to where both of those dollars equals up to $1 of purchasing power. Or that ounce of gold would actually have to double its value to measure up to that $2. Now, you see how confusing that can get? Now imagine doing that with millions of dollars. Essentially, your money's tied down and you really can't add on to it without adding on to the gold value itself. Now, of course, you can put an unlimited amount of gold, because that's definitely possible. But wait, we don't have an unlimited amount of gold. But we need to be able to print an unlimited amount of money just in case we go through a rough patch and we can boost it up a little bit. So to get that result, we would have to take our money and cut it away from the gold standard. So what are my thoughts and opinion on how would it look like today in 2020 with a whole pandemic, everything that's going on with a limited amount of printing? How would in today's economy be if our dollar was backed by the gold? Some have said we wouldn't have as much gold in the public today as we do right now. Back in the day when we were on the golden standard, what happened? Our president took and confiscated all the gold and took the gold and gave us fiat currency like we have today. 20 of these dollars represents 1 ounce of gold. So if we were on the golden standard today, right now, there would possibly be a chance where we couldn't stack gold at all. Now, of course, if we were on the golden standard, either two things has to happen. Either the prices of gold goes drastically up to accommodate for all the inflation and accommodate for all the money that's been printing out, so the US dollar can truly be backed by gold, or gold prices would just have to remain the same, and then we don't bail out the economy, because we can't afford to bail out the economy. I mean, this is, of course, this is just all in my opinion. I've been stacking gold for a while and I feel like it maintains value, and a lot of people may say it has no intrinsic value, but I do believe that it is a commodity. A lot of people do use it, and right now, if you were to ask me, do I want to be back on the gold standard? I mean, not really. But if they ever do decide to put it back in the golden standard, just know that the gold would actually have to be over $10,000 an ounce just to accommodate for all the money that we have in circulation today. But that's just my thoughts. I want to know your guys' opinion. Comment down below. Let me know, what would you think? What you think would happen if we were to go back on the gold standard, or what if we were on the gold standard right now? Comment down below. Hey guys, Eli here, and a lot of people have been asking me, Eli, where do you see the price of gold and price of silver going within the next couple of months? And the best answer I can give them is, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a psychic. I can just do my research and just hold in for the long term. Now, let's get this right off. To be honest with you, I personally don't care where the prices of gold or silver is going to be next year this time. I honestly don't care. It really doesn't affect me that much, and I don't really think about it. Now, if you were to ask me, hey, where do I want the price of silver to be 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now that's what I'm more interested in. That's what I'm more interested in. I have, the way I've been stacking my silver and gold, I have like, I divided my stack in two. I have an opportunity stack where if I see gold goes up or silver goes up, hey, I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me just go take it and boom, do it all that. But I also have another stack where I call it my retirement stack, or I'm not getting rid of stack, or whatever it may be stack. I have that. All right, so I have my opportunity stack and so-called retirement stack. And I'm not really looking towards the short term. This one, my opportunity stack, is just gonna be here regardless, unless I see an opportunity for me to sell it. Like a great opportunity that I just can't pass out on. But of course, I have this stack, which is my retirement stack, where I'm never getting rid of it. And that's the mindset I'm looking. It's not no, hey, you know what? How much profit can I make 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now? I don't really care about things like that. I don't really care what the price is gonna be. But what I do know is during an election year, depending, I'm recording this video, I have no idea when you're seeing it, probably a week before you see it, I don't know. I'm recording it. I don't really take a look at the prices like that unless people email me, say, hey, look, there's a big price up, there's a big price down, or that's how I really know about the prices. I know why I'm in silver. I know why I'm in silver, and I know the potential that silver has. All right. And a lot of people, when I say a lot, it's probably a lot of new people that just want to buy, but they seen it just ran up and they seen it stop. Like, they wouldn't be asking if the silver was just going up and up and up. They would have just thrown their money in. But now they've seen a slowdown. They've seen it go close to 30, and then it comes right back down to 23, 22 at the lowest in September. And now people's asking, man, should I be buying? Why would you ask that for? I mean, you just seen it at $30. I mean, go ahead and buy it. And I've always told the story. When I bought my silver, it was at $18. When I saw it, I didn't look, oh man, it's at $18. Should I go buy? Should I? No, I just seen, hey, where did it go? It was at $15 before 2011, and then it shot up to $50. Okay, cool. Right now it's at $18. That's a steal. Okay, let me get it. I understand recession, blah, 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 but let me get it. Guess what? The price went from 18 to 17. I still bought. 17 to 16, still bought. 15, bought. 14, bought. 13, bought. And now it's at 25. I mean, that's just my whole perspective. I didn't have to, once I did my research and I looked it up and I was like, hey, this holds value. This is the best place for me to go into. I didn't go ahead and like bother myself with, oh, you know what? Maybe I should wait. Maybe it'll go down a little bit more. No, I wanted a position now, because the same way you can go down, you can go up. What if it went from 18 to 19 and I was like, oh man, you know what? Let me wait for it to go back down to 18. All right, then it went from 19 to 20, 23, 24. So I'm just saying, when I don't like to make short-term decisions, all right? When I make short-term decisions, that's when I'm gambling. Now, long-term, it's easier to get a bigger picture look, all right? Now, if you see somebody running, you may be like, hey, where's that guy running to? There's 3 shops in front of him. He's probably going to that Toys R Us. No, he's probably going to that gas station. Nah, he's going to that Winn-Dixie over there. That's short term, because I only see he's running in a direction. I only see the direction he's running in. I don't know which way it's going to go. But once I give it more time, I'm like, hey, okay, cool. I know he's running in that direction. There's those 3 options there. Further on, long term, the closer he gets, I guarantee you, I don't know, oh yeah, you know what? He's more in the direction of the Wendy's or Winn-Dixie or whatever it is. So long term is the bigger picture. You always want to have the bigger picture in mind. Always have the end game in mind. If your end game date is a week ahead of you, I mean, how much room are you giving your investment or your precious metal time? You're not even giving them room to grow. You know, however you want to look at it. I want to know what you guys think. Comment down below. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. If you guys found value in this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and leave a thumbs up. And also consider becoming a member of this channel if you guys want to have access to some great information that will help your life for the better. Yes, this video is over, but the conversation does not have to be. Make sure you guys go to the Urban Wealth Creation Discord and chat with me there.